What is up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Smorder back at it again with another pre-game preview. And on today's video, I'm going to be previewing our Las Vegas Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football in front of the millions and millions of fans watching at home. It's going to be going down on Monday night. I already said Monday night. The Raiders are going to be in front of everybody, and hopefully this team can keep that same energy going into this week's matchup, because we desperately need it, especially going up against the #1 team in the AFC West right now, the Kansas City Chiefs. I know that Arrowhead ain't the easiest place to play at, especially for our Raiders, but hey, never say never.
And never say never.
Speaking of Monday Night Football, if you guys are going to be here on Monday night and you're possibly looking for a place to watch this game with the Raider Nation, then I got a place for you, because I will be hosting a Raiders watch party on Monday night at BLACKOUT Burgers. This event is absolutely free, and it is brought to you by the sponsors of this video, Woodson Bourbon Whiskey. If you guys are looking for the perfect whiskey to sip on during game days, then look no further. Head over to WoodSonWhiskey.com to find a bottle near you or have it shipped directly to your door. Now, getting back to the party, Woodson Whiskey is actually going to be doing a giveaway for a autographed Charles Woodson Hall of Fame football. So you guys definitely want to be a part of this. Also, we're going to be having a lot of Woodson Whiskey specials there. And on top of all that, we will be giving away a Darren Waller jersey. So you guys definitely do not want to miss out on this event. Again, BLACKOUT Burgers, Monday Night Football. Your boy Samoa Raider is going to be over there, and the rest of the Raider Nation is going to be there as well. And don't forget to wear your Black Raiders gear to get a shot of Woodson Whiskey. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get started with this video. Cue the intro.
And you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.
Now, before we do start with this pregame preview, I got some Nation news that you can use. The Raiders have recently signed linebacker Blake Martinez to the active roster and is expected to play this week against the Kansas City Chiefs. And some surprising news, though. The Raiders have waived wide receiver Tyron Johnson, aka T. Billy. Now, this was a bit of a surprising one to a lot of people, but do not worry, Raider Nation, because we could possibly see him back in a silver and black on the practice squad if he does clear waivers, which I'm pretty sure he will. And since we're on the subject of wide receivers, the Raiders have signed former Dolphins wide receiver Albert Wilson to the practice squad. Look for him to possibly make the active roster in the next coming weeks. And in some sad news, though, the Raiders have placed newly acquired offensive tackle Justin Herron on the IR with a torn ACL. This, I would say, is a loss for the Raiders. I mean, last week in his debut as a Raider, he played pretty solid on the offensive line, and just to see him gone in a week, it's really frustrating. Hopefully the Raiders can possibly bring in some more depth on this offensive line, because we know we're going to need it to get through this whole season. Now, moving on to the injury report, we actually got some great news. Linebacker Denzel Perriman, Jayon Brown, tight end Darren Waller, cornerback Rock Ya-Sin, and wide receiver Hunter Renfrow are all on track to play this week versus the Chiefs. The biggest names that do stand out to me is Denzel Perriman and wide receiver Hunter Renfrow. We already knew that Darren Waller was going to play anyways. I know he went down a bit last week, but I wasn't too worried about that. It is great to see two of our Pro Bowlers out there returning to action. Denzel Perriman was solid for us last week before he got injured, and also wide receiver Hunter Renfrow is going to be a key addition to this offense. We've been missing this guy ever since week 2, and with the resurrection of Matt Collins in this offense, it's only going to help out DC, hopefully. So overall, this is great news for the Raiders. Now, after getting our very first win of the season, our Las Vegas Raiders head to Arrowhead to go one-on-one with the new #1 team in the AFC West, the Kansas City Chiefs. These two teams have been on two different paths so far this season. The Raiders starting off the season 1-3 and the Chiefs at 3-1. This, I would say, is a big game for the Silver and Black before the bye week. The Chiefs have always been a tough team to beat for the Raiders, especially since DC has been the quarterback. And in his 9-year career as the leader of the Silver and Black, Carr has only won once in Arrowhead, and the one time he did, it was a shootout till the end. That just goes to show you how tough it is to win in Kansas City. But coming off of a win against an AFC West rival last week could possibly give this team the momentum it needs to go into week 5. The defense will be put to the test yet again again, and this time it's against a high-powered offense led by the best quarterback in football today, Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is coming off of a big game, throwing for 249 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Travis Kelce was simply being Travis Kelce out there as well, leading the team in catches and yards with 9 receptions, 92 yards, and 1 touchdown. The run game was also a solid unit for the Chiefs in last week's game, rushing for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns. But speaking of the run game, Raiders running back Josh Jacobs set a career record for 144 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. He was the key to the Raiders win last week, so we'll see how Josh McDaniels will utilize him this week. Now, I know that I sound like a broken record when I do say, every week seems like a must-win game for the Raiders, but this week, it ain't no different. I know history has not been kind to us, especially in Kansas City, but that don't mean anything moving forward. We just need to keep that same energy going into Arrowhead and just do one thing.
Just win, baby. Then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.
Now for the matchup of the game, I got our star running back Josh Jacobs versus the Chiefs' run defense. As you guys seen last week, the Raiders finally fed Josh Jacobs the ball from start to finish, which led to a career day for the 4-year back out of Alabama. Jacobs had 28 carries for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns, leading the team to its first win of the season. The Chiefs' defense, on the other hand, has been solid this year, especially against the run. Last week, they held the Bucs to only 3 yards rushing on 6 attempts and a touchdown. Then again, when they're blowing teams out, it's kind of hard to keep the run game going. But like I've said before, this is going to be another huge test for the Raiders, so it'll come down to executing in every aspect on offense. But that all starts in the backfield with Josh Jacobs.
I got the keys now.
Now, I know last week I gave you guys 3 keys to victory and I was basically 3 for 3. So this week, I'm going to give you guys 3 more keys to victory against the Kansas City Chiefs. The number 1 key is containing Patrick Mahomes. Now, this is actually easier said than done. Mahomes is in a league of his own, well, alongside of Josh Allen. Nonetheless, it isn't going to be easy slowing down Patrick Mahomes. But if the Raiders pass rush can at least put some pressure on him, then it can hopefully shake him up a bit during the game. Last week, the Bucs defense was able to get to Mahomes with 6 quarterback hits and sacking him 3 times. Now, the Chiefs did eventually come away with the victory, but it's a sign that getting to him is possible. Mad Max Crosby is a guy that won't have any problem getting his hands on Patrick Mahomes, let alone causing some pressure. But let's just hope that his compadre on the opposite side, Chandler Jones, can get in on the action, since we've yet to see any kind of impact from him so far this season. Now, I know that sacks don't really mean much to a lot of people, but that is what I'm expecting out of Chandler Jones. At the end of the day, containing Patrick Mahomes is only the start, but if we're able to do it, then it'll give our offense a chance, and that's all we need. Key number 2 in this game is executing in the red zone.
But more than anything, I want better execution. Are we clear on that? I want better fucking execution.
The constant running theme this year with our offense is that we struggle so much in the red zone. So many missed opportunities, from drop balls to misreads. That is just unacceptable. Last week against the Broncos, this offense made some big plays, keeping drives alive. But the moment we got into the red zone, it seemed like this team didn't know what to do. And against the Broncos, you're able to get away with that here and there. But against a talented team like the Chiefs, trust me, it won't end well. So I feel like this team will either have to play some great defense, holding the Chiefs to like under 20 points, which I feel like is unlikely, but not impossible, or the offense better be ready for a shootout. And that only happens if we have better execution in the red zone.
Better fucking execution.
Now, the third and final key to this game is the fact that I want to see LaCar Jackson back in action. I don't need to see Derek Carr throwing for 400 plus yards, 5 touchdowns in this game. I just want him to go out there, play smart, move around in the pocket, extend plays out there. Don't stand around like a statue, If nothing is open out there, turn those afterburners on, put your Crocs in sport mode, and start running the ball. That was definitely something that I love seeing from Derek Carr last week. Just him rushing the ball when no one else was open, making plays, extending plays out there. And I know that he rushed, 7 times for 40 yards? That was probably a career high for him. Fuck it. I want to see him go for 80 yards in this game. Like I said in my last video though, Derek Carr didn't have the greatest game last week, but he put this team in position to go and score points, whether it was Daniel Carlson kicking field goals most of the time or handing it off to Josh Jacobs for a touchdown. I just want to see him add on to that this week and hopefully put more points on the board and not have Daniel Carlson going out there kicking field goal after field goal after field goal. I know that I'm not going to get 2016 card back, running out there, jumping over people for the first down, but hey, if this guy can put us in position to win, that's all I'm asking from him. So with that said, Raider Nation, who are you guys looking forward to watching in this game? What is another key to victory? And what is your game score prediction? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, if we were to look at the NFL analyst predictions, the Raiders are basically the underdogs in this game because it was a clean sweep, 10-0. But that don't mean anything out there as long as we could go out there and just win, baby. All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today in this video. If you guys do enjoy it, don't forget to hit that like button. It does a lot for this channel. So let's see if we could at least get this video to 1,000 likes. Also, if this is the very first time you're coming across my channel and you love the Las Vegas Raiders, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. We are 500 subscribers away from 40,000. So if we could get there, I'm probably gonna do a giveaway and hook up one of you guys out there. So please subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed already. Until the next video, this your boy Small Raider and your boys. Yeah.
Started off in Oakland, now we here. Thought that we was done, we just hit another gear. Look, started off in Oakland, now we here. Hey, pull up with the nation in the silver black gear. Look, 4 games straight, we in the playoff. Shout out to the Chargers fans, y'all enjoy the